Hey, this is Noah, and today I wanted to show you my Pirate Wars Sea Battle program that I wrote for my systems programming course a little while ago. Um, Basically, in this video, I want to go over the kind of basic control flow of the program just so you can get an idea of how it works and just a little bit of the code, and then I'll show you an execution of it. So what we're looking at here is the defs.h. It's the header file which will be included in all the source files. It contains the libraries we want to link in, constant definitions, the enums, the structs, and function prototypes for the program. So we can go into main here, and you can see that it accepts program command line arguments, so you can specify the number of runs you want to happen when you're collecting statistics. The default is 100, but you can do whatever you want here, and the more you do, the closer and closer it kind of gets to the true statistic, what you would expect based off of the scenario. Um, so as you can see here, it'll initialize the stats for each of the scenarios. In our case, we just have 3 scenarios where like the tortoise has the sword, the hare has the sword, or none of them have the sword. It'll initialize the stats and then start the runs based off of the number of runs. And then after this is completed, it'll print all the stats and then the program terminates. So if we actually go into the runs.c file here, you can see start run. Basically, this initializes all the data you need for a run and calls the spawn scenario threads. In spawn scenario threads, it'll create a thread for each scenario, uh, which are the scenarios we listed before, the 3 scenarios. And then within start scenario, it will initialize the fighters, the tortoise and the hare, and then it'll create threads for those fighters to then fight the pirates from both ends of the deck. Then when the fight starts here, it'll remove the first pirate for one of them, and like the tortoise or the hare, depending on who's fighting at the front, at the back of the deck, will fight that pirate, and it'll do each of these until the deck is empty or until one or both of the heroes have died. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic control flow of it. Um, the program is compiled and linked using a make file, as you can see here. And also we have some utility files, which are some utility functions here in this util file that will clean up the data after a scenario is done. The util file contains more functions than just ones that clean up after the program is finished or after a run is finished. There also is some functions which print and format the printing for the output. So if you're curious, you could also check these out. There's also some like generic like is empty checks you can see here to check if the deck is empty just based off of the head being null or not. Um, and then there's some conversion stuff, computing some percentages, printing, like I said before. So you can check out this code in more detail in the repo if you'd like. You also dive a little deeper as well. This video goes over kind of a gist of everything, but if you're curious, to get kind of like a full understanding of the program, you could go deeper into the code. All right, so since now we're on the terminal here, I will show you how to run the program real quick. So as you can see, here are all our files. I'm doing this within WSL, um, specifically Ubuntu Linux, but you could also do this natively in Ubuntu Linux. Originally, I developed a program in a Linux VM, but I don't have access to that anymore, so I just decided to do it in WSL. So we have our make file here. You can just simply type make. It will compile and link everything. It will give us this start sim executable. So we do /start sim. By default, it'll do 100 runs. So if we just hit enter, you'll see the accumulated stats for all this based off of the scenarios. So who has the sword, or if none of them have the sword, and then success being they both lived, partial being one of them lived, the other died, and then failure being none of them lived. You can also try start sim with 50 just to show you a different amount of runs here, and you'll see they're a little different.